Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Apple report for Thursday, February 9th, 2023. Before I jump into the charts, please click like if you would. If you haven't already, it helps us out a great deal in being found on YouTube. And if you would, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. It'll provide you notification each and every time new content has been uploaded for your viewing, which presently includes the daily Tesla and daily Apple report. And please share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues. So I like to start with the big picture and work my way into the day itself. We came off of long-term support that was targeted since October, about a month and a half, 6-7 weeks ago in the low 120s. And following that test, I'd mentioned how the low 170s should be considered a long-term target that would be in reach by the end of 23, perhaps. We may be seeing that much sooner than that. I'll get to that in a second. But on the way up, I just wanted to remind you that we got snagged at the time in the 140s, a combination descending one-third speed line that is presently at 139.66. We closed above that a couple, 2-3 weeks ago. And then 144.52, the descending channel top that we settled above about a week ago, actually. That was the final shoe to drop, in my opinion, for then indicating 173.13 in as little as 3 to 5 months, possibly within 2 to 3 months. Now, what has happened recently is we've been testing this extreme channel top that today is at 153.71. We closed above it on Tuesday, closed back below it on Wednesday. So here we are at Thursday, 153.71. I've reduced to a session containment level only. The more you trade on both sides of these line studies, the less reliable they become. But I think what is reliable is the likelihood for continuing south into the 149.31 to 150.35 area, probably today. And I can show exactly what that is here. That is a combination rising one-third speed line projected off that January low in combination with a rising channel bottom that includes trade over the same time horizon. 149.31 to 150.35. I'm calling it multi-week because of the longer-term buy signals that we've had recently, most notably above this area that I showed earlier. I still think that 149.31 to 150.35 area able to absorb selling not only for the week itself, but even into March trade, and above which bullish momentum remains intact. I would like to see the market close today back above 153.71. Despite the fact that it's a mere session containment level, I think it would lend support to the rally. If we close today above 153.71, we're back into expecting this 161.27 speed line within 1 to 2 weeks at the very most, where we can top out on a weekly basis. And it would be a settlement above 161.27 that would signal the 173.13 area within as little as 2 to 3 weeks, which I mentioned remains a 3 to 5 month target above 144.52 still. And I'm going to backtrack just a little bit on that and mention, let's go back to this image here. So this says a lot. That 144.52 long-term channel top that you see in this image here, I have represented as a horizontal line here. And so I don't expect to see that today. If we break 149.31, we could perhaps, that would be a high volatility sell-off. But I will say that closing today below 149.31, I do think the 137.28 speed line becomes our next 2 to 3 week downside objective. So that would be in defiance of the buy signal, but hold the phone for a moment. 137.28 is rising at a pretty decent rate, and over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, it'll actually converge with this long-term speed line. If you remember when we closed above that speed line a few weeks ago, I mentioned that is, by one measure, a meaningful long-term buy signal. But in terms of go with to the upside, climbing on board for a projected run into the 170s, I wasn't comfortable suggesting it until we got above and closed above the 144.52 channel top. But 139.66 is still a significant area of support. And I just want to remind you or draw your attention to the fact that's the wrong image, that if we close below 149.31, it really is the speed line that we would likely test within a matter of 1 to 3 weeks. And that is here again, 137.28 rising. You can see it down here. 139.66 is descending. They all converge over the next week or so. And if we settle today below 149.31, This is going to be called a 1 to 3 week target. I don't think it'll take 3 weeks. Volatility is still pretty high. I think if we close today below 149.31, we're looking at 1 to 2 weeks, quite possibly by the end of next week, where we fall back into the upper 130s, and that would present a solid long-term buy opportunity. 139.66 down to 137.28. That 139.66 at that point will be bumped up to a 4-star support area where we could bottom out, say, into the second quarter, possibly through the second quarter, and from there regain lost ground back into the 170s within possibly 3 to 5 months of testing that 139.66. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Apple report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. So I know I've thrown a lot at you. I'm going to go over it one more time, which is to say that if we close today below 149.31, I don't see, if your time horizon is 1 to 2 weeks, to be long over that time horizon. If you recently got long, I would say a settlement below 149.31 is a long liquidation signal. You may even go short, whatever that means to you. It could mean buying 139, 140 out of the money puts that don't expire for, I'd go a month out at least on that. I don't think it'll take nearly that, but you don't want to buy a put that is expiring in a week or two when you're correct on the market direction. Only see your option expire worthless, of course. So I think you know all that, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. I will say for the day itself, we've got good bottom picking territory, 149.31 to 150.35. This is well suited for day traders. And from here, we can rally back to 153.71 quite easily on an intraday basis where we could top out for the day. If we close today back above that 153.71 channel top, then this low 160s is likely, I'll say, by the end of next week. And that is an area that, once again, can contain weekly buying pressures. I have it illustrated right, where are you? Here, that's right. So closing above 153.71, I think by the end of next week, we should push into the low 160s where we can top out through the following week. And if we close above 161.27, once again, 2 to 3 week target into the low 170s where we can top out on a quarterly, possibly annual basis. I think that pretty much rounds it out for today's Daily Apple Report. I'll be back tomorrow with Fridays, of course. You have a great day.